There was an app to cut out the chair, I think. Why is Marjon frowning?
I'm not frowning.
Democrat ladies and cream.
All right, everyone. Good evening. My name is Nancy Tung. I'm chair of the San Francisco Democratic Party. This is our regular monthly meeting, Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. We are at Victory Hall in the heart of Chinatown. And before we start our business, I'd like to ask the president of the Chinese Consolidated Benevolent Association, Dr. Kim Yi, to come forward and give a statement. There you go.
Thank you. Good evening. A warm welcome to you all to Victory Hall here in the heart of San Francisco, Chinatown. A community with a long history and vibrant culture. Victory Hall has long stood as a beacon of unity and civic engagement. And today, it becomes a gathering place for dialogue, collaboration, and action. The principle democracy thrives when people come together not only to cast votes, but to share ideas, honor differences, and build a better tomorrow. So here in one of the most diverse corners of our city, that spirit feels especially powerful. So I wish you a productive, inspiring meeting, and more importantly, a confirmation of the shared that bring us here, inclusion, justice, and progress. So thank you for being here, and welcome to Victory Hall.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yi. And as I neglected to mention that Victory Hall is a property owned by the CCBA, and they are graciously our hosts for this evening. We thank you very much for welcoming us to Chinatown, and hopefully we'll be back soon. Thank you. And we also have members of our Central Station San Francisco Police Department officers here. I have to say that in my day job as a prosecutor, I do see Central Station as a model for community policing, the way that the officers interact with the local merchants and the population here. Oftentimes people who are from countries where they don't feel safe interacting with the government or with police. And so, let's see, anyone want to say something?
We get to attend. Thank you guys so much for inviting us here today. I think kind of piggyback on what you just said, Central Station is very much a part of the community. And I want to say, and I'm very biased, but we have the best beat officers you can imagine, from Union Square to Chinatown to North Beach. They're always available. You can always see them. It's why I like the station, and I'm blessed to be there every day and getting to work with officers like this. If you see us, come to us, talk to us. We love being in the neighborhoods. We love meeting people. We love taking pictures, love handing out stickers. And a lot of us are part of these communities too, and live here and have conversations with others about our experiences of living in the city. So thank you for the invite. We really appreciate it, and thank you.
Thanks so much. And those of you who have been watchers of the San Francisco Democratic Party will remember that our last, okay, goodbye. Also recognizing Police Commissioner Larry Yi for helping us secure this beautiful place for our meeting tonight. As many of you may remember, at our gala last year, we recognized the Chinatown beat officers for including Officer Talent Tang for their service in Chinatown and the city as our public safety awardees. So keep up the good work, you guys. All right. Okay, now we will turn to our regular business. Number one on our agenda is a call to order and roll call. Director Chen, will you call the roll?
Call to order at 6:39 p.m. Calling the roll. Members, Akbar.
Present.
Akbar present. Alioto Pier is anticipated. Arce.
Here.
Arce present. Avalos.
Here.
Avalos present. Kalamuchi.
Here.
Kalamuchi present. Chan. I think anticipated. Chandler.
Here.
Chandler present. Chen is present. Coles. Coles present. Dorsey.
Present.
Dorsey present. Galata is anticipated. Gupta. Gupta absent. Hare.
Present.
Hare present. Ho. Ho present. Kim. I think anticipated. Kingsbury. Oh, okay. Kim is absent. Excused. Thank you. Kingsbury is here by proxy. Ho. Lai. Here by proxy. Kalamuchi. Mahmood. Absent. Mar. Mar present. Win. Win, I believe, absent. Philhauer. Philhauer present. Sanjarardi.
Present.
Sanjarardi present. Two. Two present. Let's see. Ex officios. Pelosi. Let's see. Proxy. Okay. Got it. Proxy. Vanessa, what's your last name again? Goyard, yes. Okay, thank you. Mullen. Not here. Kounalakis.
Present by proxy.
Okay, proxy. Oh my gosh, my names are escaping me. Proxy, I'm sorry, remember your last name again. Sorry? Hearing, yes, okay, thank you. Ma absent. Cohen is anticipated. Wiener.
Present by proxy.
Proxy Barrientos. Haney. Proxy Gallardo. Stephanie. Proxy Faldon. Chair Tung. Here. Tung present. Let's see. Chair Tung, you have a quorum.
Thank you very much. We also have, if you look behind me, we are doing a real-time translation. And then also there is a room upstairs where there is additional live translation, audio translation as well. So we're very fortunate to be able to have that service. And I want to thank Leon Chow for helping set everything up for us. Leon has been working very hard to help us provide more access to people of different communities with different language abilities so that the Democratic Party can be accessible to everyone. Agenda item number 2, approval of meeting agenda. Members, are there any additional amendments to the agenda? If not, can we, is there a motion to approve the agenda? Anyone?
Motion.
Motion by Vice Chair Hare, seconded by Member Avalos. Can we take this without objection? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, the agenda is approved. Item number 3, approval of meeting minutes from the June 25th, 2025 meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes for the June? Motion by Vice Chair Hare, seconded by anyone? Seconded by Member Sanjarardi. All those in favor? Any opposed? And that passes. So our prior meeting minutes have been approved. Number 4 was the presentation from the Chinatown Consolidated Benevolent Association, which we already had. And thank you again to Dr. Yi for being here to offer some words. They ran out very quickly because they had a dinner to go to. So I appreciate them making the time. Also, as a reminder, as we head into item number 5, which is general public comments, I'm doing a bad job of this, but please speak very slowly to the members and the proxies present, and also to the members of the public in order for the translation to appear and not be garbled. We all need to speak a little bit more slowly than we might ordinarily do so. But in any case, number 5 is general public comments. Our executive director, Babak Esfandiari, will handle general public comment. But before I turn it over, I want to take a moment to remind everyone of the California Democratic Party Code of Conduct and our additional own code of conduct curbing sexual assault and harassment within our own party. The expected behavior here is that we are committed to providing a welcoming, respectful, friendly, safe, supportive, and harassment-free environment for our members, for our employees, and all others associated with the party, including members of the public that attend our meetings. So I know that sometimes in politics, tensions run high, but I expect that everyone coming to these meetings will be respectful of different positions of other people and respectful of the members of this body, as the members of the body will be respectful of each other and of members of the public. So with that, I will turn it over to our executive director for public comment.
You muted me. Thank you, Chair Tong. Folks, if you would like to make a public comment tonight, please fill out a comment card available at the table where I'm seated. I will call speakers in the order that I received comment cards. Please note that this body takes all public comment during this item. Each member of the public will have 2 minutes to address this committee. Right, Chair Tong?
How many cards do you have?
I have about 15. Cool. Associate members, including club presidents or chairs, members of the Democratic State Central Committee, Assembly District chairs, and regional directors will have double the time, or 4 minutes, to address this committee. I will keep the time with my phone and hold up a page that says time when your time has elapsed. Thank you in advance for your patience. Let me queue up the first couple of commenters. And if you could put a mic over in this corner near Carolyn Weisinger, that is where I'm gonna, Courtney's got it. That is where I'm gonna ask folks to stand and give their comment. And if you would like to sit, we put a chair there for you as well. I would put that on the chair. And there are a couple names here that I may have difficulty pronouncing. I've struggled with this many times as well, so bear with me. Mark Bruno, Jingzhao Strong, C2 Pekshin, and then Zhu King Lei. I don't know, help me out here. Zhu Qing Lei. So first, Mark Bruno.
So I'm leading on the last 4 minutes because I'm chair of the district club.
That is correct. You are an associate member of the party.
I don't need 4 minutes, but since you asked us to speak slowly for the sake of translation, which is extremely important, I will speak slowly. I also apologize to the people on my left. I'm sitting down because it's very difficult for me to stand because of a hip injury. So thank you for inviting us. My name is Mark Bruno. When I say us, I don't only speak on behalf of the District 3 Democratic Club, but the St. Vincent de Paul Society, which is a place I've worked for many years in North Beach at St. Peter and Paul Church. And as you know, there's a, I'm sorry?
Speak into the mic.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize. Thank you for telling me. Yeah. So I hope you can hear me now. So I've been working for over 25 years with St. Vincent de Paul Society. As some of you know who work for the city in that field, St. Vincent de Paul has the largest homeless shelter shared with Episcopal Community Services. They have a very large shelter as well for the city and county. We have many contracts with the city. So there's now a plan out here in the world called the Family Zoning Plan. And as we know, it includes increased density and upzoning. And what I'm here to speak about is very specifically why I believe, and our group believes, it needs to be amended so none of the upzoning burden falls on the shoulders of existing tenants in the city and county of San Francisco. And by tenants, I had the opportunity, fortunately, to speak with Joe before the meeting. I mean residential tenants, not stores. I'm not here to speak about restaurants. I'm not saying these things aren't super important, but it's a very complex piece of legislation, as I'm sure Supervisor Dorsey and others can tell you. And we're only here to speak about residential rental tenants. So our group, St. Vincent de Paul Society, did a very cursory calculation because we're still in a sunshine request right now with Lisa Chen at the planning department to find out how many of the parcels currently overlaid by the upzoning colors. As if you've seen the maps, you'll see there's colors that are yellow, pink, blue, and green. They represent different heights. There's even a dark gray. So these colors on the upzoning map represent where upzoning might be allowed should Supervisor Dorsey and others choose to approve the current draft map proposed by the mayor's office. And we're saying none of these colored areas should include residential renters in the city and county of San Francisco. Why? Well, first of all, the enabling legislation, which was amended by Senator Wiener and others eventually, because it's an old piece of legislation called the State Housing Accountability Act. Secondly, the Housing Crisis Act of 2019. Both say unequivocally that market removal and demolition of existing affordable housing should not be allowed unless it's absolutely needed. Especially, the law goes on to say, areas experiencing housing shortage. So we already know we are experiencing housing shortage. That's why we're here talking about this at all, because the mayor's plan is a way to remedy housing shortage. So since we're in a context of housing shortage, we fall into that area of the state law that says, don't demolish existing affordable rental units. I use as an example, since we're in District 3, maybe some of you know this corner, and I apologize for it not being larger, but it's a corner of Bay and Stockton Streets near what used to be the North Point Safeway. And if you head east on Bay Street, a very rapid, I apologize on that. Yeah. Bay is a very rapidly moving street. It's almost like a freeway down there. But because of that, on one side of the street, there are these units. There's actually 300 units I discovered. So many more than 300 people. And those are rent-controlled units. And they look like this. They're not, I'm not here to talk about buildings that should be condemned. I'm not here to talk about buildings where there's terrible problems with the landlords or they're mean to the tenants. No, I'm talking about regular rental units in our city like these. Why should we permit a law, a planning zone, a plan to destroy units that are already providing affordable housing for people? I say, and my group, St. Vincent de Paul, says we shouldn't do that. We shouldn't do that unless it's absolutely necessary, and we believe it's not. So again, thank you for your time. See, I've spoken for 4 minutes, and I appreciate your courtesy and listening. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Up next, I have Qingchao Xiong. Yes, you're up. Followed by Situ Pei Xin. Yeah, you, I think. I probably should just have Leon next to me.
Hello, everybody, brother and sister. I'm Jin Chao Sung. I'm running for Congress, and on this year, I will lead the people, human into the equality. 我將會領導人類進入一個平等、自由同埋富裕嘅世界。
What I want to say is I want to lead free world and equalities and freedom.
我會入到國會，將會由美國建立一個強大嘅軍隊，通過貨幣同埋經濟、教育嚟建立大量整個人類建立一個新嘅秩序。
I would lead the economy and lead the world to a new platform.
我希望民主黨港新民主黨人可以為我背詩，使美國更加偉大。
I want the Democratic Party to endorse me to make America great again.
No,
great, more
make
great. Make
American more great. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you for your comments. Now, the next one here is C2 Patient. All right. C2. There you go.
各位來賓，晚上好，我叫司徒培山。我自從周生向我表示咧，回復使用手機閱讀我哋嘅手寫文稿，我發現人工智能翻譯咧非常容易使用。我已經嘗試咗好幾次，喺市政廳聽證會上咧就發表個公眾發言咧，我以前咧唔敢講英文。而且唔敢喺會議上發言，而家咧我有咗人工智能翻譯咧，我而家感到好有力。我希望咧，喺度我好像我一樣嘅唔識英文嘅人咧，就能夠發言並且參與其中。因此咧，我非常強烈要求本委員會咧投票通過這項關於人工智能翻譯嘅決定。謝謝。
And thanks for the AI technology that everything sits here can be instantly translated, so I don't have to. So let me demonstrate.
To Peixin speech. Good evening. My name is C2 Peixin. Mr. Joe showed me how to use the phone to read my handwritten manuscript, and I found the AI translator very easy to use. I have tried it several times, making public speeches at town hall hearings. I used to be afraid to speak at conferences because I couldn't speak English. But now, with AI translation, I feel more powerful. We hope to see more non-English speakers like me speak and participate. Therefore, I strongly recommend that this committee vote to pass this resolution on AI translation. Thank you very much.
I didn't do it.
Thank you, Leon. All right. I'm going to need your help again here. It's Zhu Qinglei. Zhu Qinglei. Thank you, everyone, for putting up with my not knowing how to pronounce Chinese names.
大家晚上好，大家晚上好，我個名係朱清女。多年來，我參加過無數次嘅公聽會，好多時候翻譯並非覆蓋整個會議嘅過程，而是只對公眾發言期間提供2-3分鐘嘅翻譯，而且必須有提前72小時提供申請才能提供。這意味着我們在聽證會上做了 數小時才無法理解英文嘅情意嘅議程，而當我哋關心着議題被趕到時，我們往往是最後才知道的，導致非英文嘅老人最後才排隊站到數小時才被發言，這樣好不公平。我哋相信人工智能翻譯可以解決這個問題，確保所有嘅人都能平等地參與會議。請支持這項決議，謝謝。
Lei Ziqing speech. Good evening, my name is Lei Ziqing. Over the years, I have attended countless public hearings. Many times, the translation does not cover the entire meeting process, but only provides 2 minutes of translation during the public speech period, and it must be requested 72 hours in advance. This means we sit in hearings for hours without being able to understand the English agenda. And when the issues we care about are raised, we are often the last to know, causing non-English speaking elderly people to be the last in line and stand for hours just to speak. This is unfair. We believe AI translation can solve this problem and ensure that everyone can participate equally in the meeting. Please support this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Before I call up the next couple of names, for anybody that got here late, a reminder, if you would like to give public comment tonight, please fill out one of these cards and return it to my little tray right here. Leon, if you would mind repeating that announcement really quickly.
大家如果想而家先至遲到，或者而家想發言嘅話咧，喺我哋個主任個台面前面咧就有呢個發言卡，大家可以係趁住呢個時間咧填。如果未填發言卡嘅話，請填。
Thank you. The next few names I have are Rui Hua Huang, sorry.
Mình sẵn hô, 我叫黃代噶，幾十年來，我一直為話人社口更多，鼓勵老人家行條屋參加行政會。最重要嘅係讓我們相處容人會行嘅行。要我唔識英文，唔識中文，因此跟相處人唔該係咪嘅情況？我緊我問我人工智能是對翻譯，有時我了解我要下會是人工智能嘅翻譯，會英文嘅人。會人本人做冇太啱心，人會突然話過來，他能夠準確翻譯所說的內容，這正是我們確保我們的信念為準確係我所內容的。我強烈支持這項決議，為慳聽嚟愛家是旁嘅好單程表，謝謝。
Huang Ruiwa's speech. Good evening, my name is Huang Ruiwa. For decades, I have been working in the Chinese community, encouraging seniors to vote, attend hearings, most importantly, to speak their minds. Unfortunately, because we only speak Chinese, misunderstandings often occur. Recently, I watched a demonstration of AI real-time translation. I learned that since it is not a human translation, non-English speakers do not need to worry about human errors or filtering. It accurately translates what is said. This is exactly what we need to ensure that our voices are accurately heard. I strongly support this resolution and implore you to vote in favor of motion 10. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Lan Phun Lao. Anita Lau. Okay, sorry.
Hello，晚上好啊！我叫蘭芬嬲，我係一位忠誠嘅民主黨人，也是一名活躍嘅工會成員，致力於社會同埋呢個經濟嘅正義。幾年前，我嘅導師周先生咧鼓勵我就係競選加州民主黨嘅代表。由於我唔識講英文，我一度猶豫不決。但周先生說服咗我啦，言語唔係一個應該成為從事公共嘅服務嘅障礙。我分別在2021年啦、2023年啦同埋2025年連續3屆嘅當選。然而我至今仍然是唯一嘅一位非英語母語嘅民選代表。不僅在呢個舊金山啦，而係在整個加州。我唔想成為唯一嘅一個，我想成為首先嘅第一個，為更多好似我咁一樣嘅人鋪路。這項嘅決議是朝向實現這一個目標邁出嘅關鍵嘅一步。我強烈督促你對我嘅第10項嘅動議投贊成票，多謝。
Good evening, my name is Lan Phun Lao. I am a loyal Democrat and an active union member committed to social and economic justice. A few years ago, my mentor, Mr. Zhou, encouraged me to run for California Democratic Representative. I was hesitant because I didn't speak English, but Mr. Zhou convinced me that language should not be a barrier to public service. I was elected for 3 consecutive terms in 2021, 2023, and 2025 respectively. However, I remain the only elected representative who is not a native English speaker, not just in San Francisco, but throughout California. I don't want to be the only one. I want to be the first, paving the way for more people like me. This resolution is a critical step towards achieving this goal. I strongly urge you to vote in favor of motion 10. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Julia Kwan.
Seniors that have families and they live in District 4. They're here also to represent. We did not know if there's translations. We're going to have Julia speak on their behalf. They're going to come up. Where's Sunlight?
Selena, one thing real quick. There's a camera here. If we could try to not block this camera right here.
Oh, do you want us to face this way?
You can face whatever way you like. I just keep in mind the live stream there. Thank you. Julia, let me know when you're ready to start speaking. Yeah, I see you.
Right here? I'm like, do I face them or here? Okay,
Go
we're
ahead.
also facing, okay. Hi,
When you're ready.
everyone. Good evening. Ho Fun Ying. That means welcome to Chinatown. My name is Julia Kwan. I'm a nurse. I'm a former first responder, and I am a Sunset resident. I'm a Chinese American. I'm Cantonese, and I live in a multi-generational household here in District 4. I come here tonight hoping that the DCCC would support the recall of Supervisor Joe Lingardio, but if not possible, I respectfully ask, please at least stay neutral. The recall was not born just out of pettiness, but it was really born out of community frustration. Supervisor Lingardio has dismissed, ignored, and talked down to the very people he was elected to serve, us right here in the community. This includes working families, seniors, immigrants, and lifelong Sunset residents. The handling of Prop K, the permanent closure of the Upper Great Highway, and his divisive rhetoric has created real harm. Over 10,000 people signed the recall petition, and 80% of them were collected by volunteers. These aren't just paid people, these aren't just politicians, these are our neighbors, mothers, elders, and caregivers trying to get their voices heard, and we don't want to be shut out of the political process. So please, I stand here today as a resident, as someone who works in healthcare, as a daughter of someone whom I have to bring over to Kaiser, someone who has to see veterans go from the Sunset District to the Richmond District for the VA, someone who's here to stick up for the popos and the yayas of our community, to please at least stay neutral if you can. I know it may be a lot to ask to go against a current district supervisor, but please, we just ask that you respect us in District 4 and our opinions. And thank you very much.
Thank you for your comment. Selena Chu.
Thank you so much for hearing Julia. She is great, and I'm hoping some part of this gets translated, because it's so amazing that we have young fellow like her to actually represent the District 4. She is a resident born and raised. I am here. I'm not born and raised. I am an immigrant. I came to this country when I was 10, and I was promised I have a voice in this country as long as I use it. So I learned to speak English, but I am begging you, give the voice to the people who don't support them. My name is Selena Chu. I'm a District 4 Sunset resident, and I am standing here today asking for your vote to vote yes on A, to support the recall of Joe Lingardio, my district supervisor. Some of you might know me. I have canvassed. I've supported you. I voted you in. So I'm hoping, you understand. As Julia mentioned, there's at least 11,000 voters and volunteers who work hard night and day. And you all ran campaigns to be elected. So you understand how hard to get over 80% of volunteers to go out to get signatures. This is hard. I have my friend who's in walker. She's in her 90s, walking out with her walker. You trying to beg people, please sign, because we need our voice of Sunset back. Our supervisor promised us a compromise. He promised a lot of things for us, but he turned his back on us, the people that elected him, that trusted him. I campaigned for him. I was at the Ortega Farmers Market, with my friends every weekend, helping Joe to get elected. It was historic for him to be the only person who beat an incumbent to become a supervisor. That was amazing. But
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
At the call of the chair. Well, there you go.
OK，大家好，我個名叫朱偉，我係第4區日落區嘅居民同埋選民，我喺呢度咧代表日落區嘅社區，至少有11000個選民咧喺呢度咧，希望咧就大家咧知道我哋係簽咗一個罷免恩加納市參事嘅請願書。我哋今晚咧就係嚟呢個表達我哋嘅聲音。我喺呢度咧懇請 DCCC 咧係民主黨中央民主黨咧去背書支持呢個草根嘅活動，去罷免第4區市參事恩加納，唔係因為有任何嘅政治嘅動機。而係咧，社區有個渴望咧，佢哋嘅代表咧能夠真係代表佢哋嘅社區嘅價值啊，佢哋嘅優先嘅事項啊，同埋佢哋嘅聲音。咁喺10523個有效簽名，我哋喺第4區咧要求呢個罷免。但係咧，恩加納市參事用咗1個月嘅活躍嘅時間咧，嚟到希望咧阻止呢個希望呢個第4區嘅選民咧能夠即係唔好即係阻止佢哋嘅簽名。咁當然啦，有好多嘅財團啊，咁嚟到匯入去反對罷免。咁佢咧甚至咧係騷擾啲選民去阻止佢哋簽名。咁我哋咧覺得咧，即係一家市參事咧係迷惑咗，同埋即係迷惑啲選民，同埋向社區報復啦。咁喺我哋縱然喺咁多嘅情況之下咧，第4區嘅選民咧仍然係排除萬難咁樣去將呢個日落區嘅第4區嘅市參事恩加納咧係趕出佢哋嘅位置。咁喺呢度咧呢個罷免咧係歷史性嘅，係人民嘅力量能夠達成嘅。咁參事記得今年係。或者啦，我哋希望咧提醒大家咧，投呢個即係按照我哋嘅要求嚟到投票啦。唔好忘記咧，佢哋記得去投票嗰啲，同埋咧投嗰啲反對嘅社區嘅人。
Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Gloves, rewrites. That's why. Amazing work.
I should use the AI.
Your AI cannot.
No, that's it right there.
Thank you so much. So these are the voices that are not speaking out tonight. We are here. We're honored to represent them. So please consider them, their voices and their stories. We will remember who stand with the community. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Up next, I have Susan Pfeiffer, followed by Calvin Louis. Susan.
I'm going to sit because I'm no taller standing up. and I'm old and it's easier. Couple of things tonight. First of all, I want to thank Member Coles and Chair Tung, and also a little input from Member Avalos on the resolution condemning the federal Medicaid cuts and promoting the ongoing phone banks at Team Pelosi. This is becoming more and more critical every day because these phone banks we talk to voters in the district and make sure they know that their member of Congress voted for what we now call the big ugly. So he can't hide from it, and it preps them to vote him out in November. And there's one other district that we're calling into too. So this is critical work. The more I learn about that bill and what it's going to do to Medicaid, the more frightened I become. Hospital emergency rooms are going to be overflowing with people who have no health care. We have not seen it yet, but it's going to explode. It's one of the worst things this administration could have ever done, and they did it gleefully. I also want to compliment the resolution on expanding language tonight and the way you've handled it. You figured out a way to do almost instant translation. Because I've seen struggles in a couple of meetings, and this is wonderful, and thank you very much. It's so inclusive. I really appreciate it. It solved the problem. And, yep, that's it.
Thank you for your comment. Up next, I have, thank you. Up next, I have, forgive me, let me go back to where I was. Calvin Louis.
Good evening. My name is Calvin Louis. I'm a District 3 resident. Can I see by a show of hands how many of the DCCC members live in District 4? I see I see two hands. Let the record show 2 hands. This election is a recall. It's not a general election for the even district supervisors. So I feel that DCCC should abstain from any endorsement for this recall and let the residents of the Sunset decide if Joe Engardio should be recalled or not. So that's my stand. I hope that there's no outside influence and let the D4 residents decide this fate. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Before I read off this last name, if anybody else would like to give public comment, the time to fill out one of these cards and bring it to me is now. Cool. Jonathan Sitt.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jonathan. I was asked to bring up some issues maybe affecting either the local Asian American community or local Chinatown. It's kind of a mix. There's a generational difference, but also the fact that, we are not a monolith. So in general, a lot of my younger colleagues, friends, peers, however you want to call them, I think a lot of things are on their mind, probably immigration, aside from, all the things going nationally, immigration is probably on their mind. Things are like what resources are being shared so that people who are monolingual are able to defend themselves essentially from being detained. A lot of the resources that are out there don't take into account that you have to say words in English in order to request for a lawyer, for example. For the local businesses, I've heard, people are in the beginning, with tariffs and everything, they were trying to hoard items, their stock, they were blocking off their own store just to keep items there. These are pretty expensive, so if anyone's out there to do a merchant walk or anything to assure businesses that there are ways for them to make it affordable to run a small business in San Francisco, that would be great. So I don't have much to say, just want to throw that out there, just the general temperature check of some other Asian American issues aside from the ones that have been heard today. Language access is really important. Something that came up before is, if there's more of these like press 3 options for like Cantonese, there's already press 2 for Spanish. Can there not be more? I think 311 already does this. So if there's any way to increase language access in general, so all the people who are advocating for that, I think is very important. I run as like an unofficial translator for my family and probably more. So I do feel that is really important. So that's all I gotta say. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for your comment. Max Leung.
Hi, everyone. My name is Max Leung. I already know quite a few of you sitting up here from different capacities. I just want to say that the whole issue about the recall, I am supportive of it, and I'm asking for your support. Actually, I'm not even asking. I'm just telling y'all should support it because it makes absolutely no sense for the entire city to vote on something that only affects one part of the city. And the thing is, keep it a buck. Most people who do not live in the Sunset are barely ever going to go to that stupid ass park anyways, or use it, because most of the time of the year it's too damn cold out there, okay? Most people who live there don't even go there. You know what I mean? Because it's too cold and windy out there. So how often is that dumbass park going to be even used? And to have the entire city vote on something that's going to affect one district, you know what I mean? This makes no sense. And as far as Engardio, it's like, agree with him or not, the point is, if you're a district supervisor, you're supposed to represent your constituents, right? And that's not what he's doing. In fact, now he's doubling down and mocking those who are against him. That's not leadership, So that's all I gotta say about that.
Thank you for your comment. Madam Chair, we can do last call, but there are no more cards in my sheet.
Thank you, Executive Director Esfandiari. Turning my computer on. All right, here we go. We're moving on to agenda item number 6, reports. This is our opportunity for our officers to give reports. We'll start with my report, the chair. I did think that it was appropriate, since we are in Chinatown, to highlight some news that came out of the San Francisco Unified School District with respect to the creation of a new K-8 school that is Mandarin immersion. I am a little bit biased in this regard because my son is in the Mandarin immersion program in San Francisco Unified, and it is a wonderful, wonderful program. It provides language, bilingual education to our youngest citizens of San Francisco, and provides them with a step up in entering the world stage. And that goes for not just the Mandarin immersion programs, but Cantonese immersion program, the Japanese immersion program, the Spanish immersion program. All of the language programs that San Francisco Unified offers are on the cutting edge of education and public education. I think there is going to be a lot of vacancies for bilingual teachers. So if you know someone who is a Mandarin speaking teacher or Cantonese or any other language immersion program that might be benefiting from their teaching, please stay tuned and encourage them to apply for these programs. I think they're wonderful. Another thing that I'd like to announce is that we are starting a grassroots funding campaign for the DCCC. Yes, out of our members. And this is something that in conversation with some of the other county chairs during our convention in May, they said that it was really something that helped people have more buy-in to the party, to have more skin in the game, and also to support the staff and the activities of the party, which is to grow and make the Democratic Party stronger overall. So I sent out an email to all of our members and affiliates a couple of weeks ago or last week, encouraging everyone to become a recurring contributing member to our San Francisco Democratic Party. I myself am in for $50 a month. I'm encouraging everyone. I see some other associate members, John Ma, I see you. I bet you can afford $50 a month. But in any case, I'm hoping that each of you will sign up to be recurring donors to the party at whatever level is comfortable for you, and that we will be able to support the strong work of our executive director and Babak Esfandiari and Courtney Sid, who is running all the tech tonight and is our graphic designer and has been project managing all of the Dems on the Move initiatives, including in Chinatown, where we've produced a bunch of programs. So I hope you guys will all become recurring contributing donors to the party. And with that, and my thanks to CCBA for hosting us at Victory Hall tonight. I will ask any of the other committee chairs if there are reports. Lily?
Thank you, Chair Tung. I am Chair of the Issues and Resolutions Committee, and I just want to give an update on Proposition A, the special election for District 4 that will occur on September 16th of this year. The party, actually specifically our executive director, sent out an email to the proponents and opponents of Proposition A, and have notified them that we are opening up the applications for the party's endorsement. The applications are due on August 1st, and the responses to the applications will be public on our website the day after. The Issues and Resolutions Committee will be hosting an endorsement interview meeting via Zoom to ensure accessibility, and that meeting will occur on August 13th at 6 p.m. That's a Wednesday. There will be no public comment at the endorsement interview meeting. The endorsement vote for Proposition A by the party will take place at our next scheduled monthly meeting, August 27th at 6:30, and part of the Dems on the Move, we're moving around to different neighborhoods in the city. The meeting on August 27th will be located at the Bayview Opera House, and public comment will take place there. If the public has any questions regarding the endorsement process, please feel free to reach out to Babak or myself, and I'm happy to assist or explain anything. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Ho. Let's see. Member Sandrardi, would you like to give an update on the gala? No.
We have a date.
Save the date.
Save the date. Thursday, October 23rd. It will be at Bimbo's in District 3. More information to come. We've just finalized the levels for sponsorship, so we'll now be sending that to Courtney, our wonderful graphic designer, and we'll start the fundraising. And we encourage you all to invite your friends, invite your family. There will be special opportunities for people who validate that they are members of a local Democratic club. There'll be discounted tickets for those folks, and special rates for Democratic clubs to also sponsor and contribute back to the Democratic Party. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Lanier, do you have an update? No. Okay. Any other officers, directors, or committee chairs have updates? Executive Director Esfandiari, do you have an executive director's report?
I do. I apologize again for the way in which I've been providing these reports, which is I don't finish them in time to circulate in writing, but I get them out after and just give them orally in the meeting. It takes me a minute, but a couple of quick things. One, a quick recap of the events we hosted and participated in this last month. Since the June meeting, we assisted Jonathan Sitt and the Chinatown Volunteer Corps with the night market that happened on July the 11th. That was a lot of fun, and a lot of folks can remember that. We held a karaoke night at Lion's Den on July 17th. We did a community cleanup in and around the Portsmouth Square area with Refuse Refuse on July 19th. We conducted a food pantry event just this past Tuesday on July 22nd, and special thank you to Susan Pfeiffer for joining us at that. That was a lot of fun. And then we also amplified phone banks that are being conducted by our partner organizations. The Bay Area Coalition has started phone banks into Virginia for Winning Virginia this coming fall. And the Hands Off Our Healthcare phone bank shifted focus slightly from trying to stop the terrible bill to trying to call voters in those districts to tell them what's terrible about it and that they should hold their congresspeople accountable. That's being led by Team Pelosi and a very long list of groups, of which we are a proud co-host. In terms of supporting the various committees, I'll just quickly run through this. We helped out all the Dems on the Move stuff. Courtney has been running that, and I've been playing back to him where necessary and helping with the logistics of those events. I've been supporting Committee Chair Lily Ho on the Issues and Resolutions Committee stuff, finalizing and adjusting some of the timelines around getting that endorsement process up and running. Supporting Clubs and Chartering Committee Chair Emma Hare in handling questions and concerns from our charter clubs and organizations about the requirements to participate in pre-endorsing conferences. And I've been supporting a little bit Labor Committee Chair Dan Calamucci in setting up some time to meet with the UFCW's Local 5 about updates to their REI campaign, which this party voted to support earlier this year. The last update I have for you all pertains to a process that the California Democratic Party is running. They are, actually two updates, I'm sorry. One, the CDP Executive Board is meeting virtually from August 22nd to August 24th of next month of August. The credentialing for that did open July 8th, and CDP Executive Board members must be approved by that CDP Credentials Committee by August the 21st at 6 p.m. If you have questions about this process, you're welcome to reach out to Region 7 Director Henny Kelly, who's behind me to my left there, or the State Party Operations staff at operations@kdem.org. And then the only other topic I have is I've been fielding some questions, like I said earlier, from certain charter clubs and organizations about the finalization of their rosters for the pre-endorsing conference deadline. I'm not going to repeat what I said last month, but the one thing I will say is that as the chartering authority for those organizations, we are responsible for certifying the validity of a charter club's charter, affirming that their bylaws or rules contain a definition of members of good standing, confirming that their roster submitted only contains members of good standing, and then checking that those folks are registered Democrats. So the state party does the lift of most of that work, but we're here to help support them and also just review those charters. That's all I got. I'll send the rest in writing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Executive Director Esfandiari. Henny. I think our Region 7 Director, Henny Kelly, has some words for us today.
Words? I've got lots of words. I just want to say...
I like your shirt, by the way.
Oh, why aren't you all wearing it? Remember, it's got something on the back.
Yeah, when we fight, we win. That's right, Henny.
Okay, I really would like to talk about 9, 10, and 11. I really think these are humdingers, and everybody should vote for them. Now, that's one thing. The other thing is we're talking about the lists of people who are members. And one thing that I have found that really has made some of this hard, so I'm going to tell you, is you really have to have the correct name and the correct spelling, because we have had problems before because people forget how they put their name in 15 years ago. So that's something that you really need to look at, and if you need help, don't call me about it, because I used to have to do that all the time. I want to say that we did have a meeting of 4 different districts, and to go over what's happening at the e-board. I want to know how many of you put up your name to be on a committee for the Democratic Party. Any of you? Good. Anybody else? Did you? Oh my God. All righty. I think there are about 5 of you who did. And what I did was I went and checked, and I put my name next to that and said, this person is wonderful because they're from San Francisco. All right. And I believe that too. So we had this meeting, and it went over all the things that are going to be happening at the e-board, and we backed some resolutions there, and that was very nice. But I don't think a lot of you were there, and I don't blame you, because it's a hard thing to do, just to go and listen to it. So we do have a tape of it, and I'm going to be sending out the tape. Please disregard the first 5 minutes. It's me just sitting there waiting for the other people to come so we could talk about it. And I am making very funny faces because I love to do that. I want to thank you, by the way, for what you said about coming to the party and things. And it is a good thing that you will lower the thing for people who are in clubs. That's a very good thing. But I really want to thank you, and I think this is absolutely wonderful to be doing that. We tried that before, but they didn't, when we first came up with having people here, they would have things in their ears, and we would have somebody that would be talking to them. This is such a much better thing. As an English teacher, I do not like AI. I want my students to learn how to write and how to talk. And but this I like. Okay, so I want to thank you all for that, and I thought this was it's really nice to go to the different districts. Thank you so much for doing that.
All right. Officers' reports are done. Moving on to agenda item number, what is the next agenda item? Is it number 7?
Yes, it's 7.
Okay. Why is this?
Could I say something? There is, you can sign up to be an observer for the
E-board?
E-board, and it's all going to be on Zoom, so you can be on everything. And you also, even if you don't sign up for an observer, you will be able to go to your, what are those things called? Please help me, I'm 83. You will be able to go to the
Caucuses? Is the caucuses a committee meeting?
caucuses.
Okay.
Dave, see, that's why.
We should be on a game show together, Henny.
You'll work out.
Yeah. Okay, so thank you for that announcement. Sign up to be an observer for eBoard, which is coming up in August. It's online, on Zoom. So no cost in getting to a place to do that. All right, we're moving on to item agenda number 7, which is the election of to fill the vacancy of second vice chair, which was vacated earlier this year when Carrie Barnes resigned from the DCCC. Are there any nominations for the position of second vice chair? Director Coles.
I'd like to make a motion for member Phil Hauer to serve as the second vice chair of the San Francisco Democratic Party.
Second.
Well, let me first ask, member Phil Hauer, do you accept the nomination? Okay, are there any other nominations for second vice chair? Okay. All right, is there a second to member Phil Hauer's nomination as second vice chair?
Second. Am I allowed?
All right, I'm going to go with member Alioto Pierre. Seconded by member Alioto Pierre. Do we have a roll call vote on this? Oh, I'm sorry, is there any discussion? Would you like?
Thank you, everyone, for your consideration. It's been an honor to sit here with all of you. I know it's not always the best of times, but happy to move the party forward with you all.
Thank you, member Phil Hauer. Director Chen, could we have a roll call vote?
This is item 7. Item 7, a vote to appoint Marjan Philhauer, member Philhauer, to second vice chair. Let's see, starting the roll. Kingsbury. Aye. Mar. Aye. When is absent, Philhauer. Philhauer, aye. Sangiardi. Aye. Sangiardi, aye. 2. 2, aye. Akbar.
Aye.
Akbar, aye. Alioto Pierre.
Aye.
Aye. Arce. Aye. Aye. Avalos. Aye. Kalamuchi. Aye. Chan. Aye. Chandler. Aye. Chen is aye. Coles. Aye. Dorsey. Aye. Galata. Aye. Gupta is absent. Hare. Aye. Ho. Aye. Kim is absent. Lai. Aye. Mahmood. Aye. Ex officio. Pelosi. Haas. Kunalakis. Aye. Mullen is absent. Ma is absent. Cohen. Aye. Wiener. Abstain. Haney. Aye. Stephanie. Stephanie, aye. Pelosi. Abstain. Chair Tom. Aye. Have all those who wish to vote voted? By a vote of 25 ayes, 0 no, 2 abstain, 5 absent, the motion is carried.
Congratulations, Vice Chair Phil Hauer. All right, moving on to our next item of business. Number 8 is the appointment and confirmation of executive board representatives to the California Democratic State Central Committee, Executive Committee, right? After each odd-numbered convention of the DSCC, we must reselect representatives to represent our county committee. We are blessed with having enough people here to have 4, enough Democrats in the registered Democrats in San Francisco to have 4. So I have appointed myself, first Vice Chair Dan Calamucci, second Vice Chair Marjan Philhauer, and member Joshua Arce to the executive board of the DSCC. And that is subject to a ratification of this body. So is there a motion to approve these appointments? Moved by member Dorsey. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by member Ho. Director Chen, we also have a roll call vote.
This is item 8, a motion to approve the appointments of Nancy Tung, Dan Calamucci, Marjan Philhauer, and Joshua Arce to the California State Democratic State Central Committee Executive Board. Calling the roll, starting with Mar. Mar, aye. When is absent. Philhauer. Aye. Philhauer, aye. Sangiardi. Aye. Aye. 2. Aye. Akbar.
Aye.
Aye. Alioto-Pierre.
Aye.
I, Arce. I, Avalos. I, Calamucci. I, Chan. I, Chandler. I, Chen is I, Coles. I, Dorsey. I, Galata. I, Hare. I, Ho. I, Lai. I, Mahmood. I, Kingsbury. I, ex officios, Pelosi. Abstain, Kunalakis. I, Cohen. Abstain, Wiener. I, Haney. I, Stephanie. I, Chair Tom. I. Have all those who wish to vote voted? By vote of 25 ayes, 0 no, 2 abstain, 5 absent, the motion carries.
Thank you very much, Director Chen. Congratulations, new appointees to the E-Board. Moving on to agenda item number 9, which is a resolution commemorating the 35th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Vice Chair Hare, would you like to introduce your resolution? Good evening, San Francisco Democrats. My name is Emma Hare. I am the 4th Vice Chair of this party, and tonight I'm introducing a resolution commemorating the 35th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act, which turns 35 this year. And this month is Disability Pride Month, and so I thought it was topical to honor the members of our community with disabilities on the 35th anniversary of this act passed by Congress. And some of the things that I want to call out and why I wanted to introduce it specifically for the San Francisco Democratic Party is that much like we have with many issues, the Bay Area has led on disability rights. I'm very, very proud to represent this city and this region who has spearheaded so many policies that we all have seen that spread across the nation and the world, including marriage equality and many, many others, including serving people with disabilities in our communities. So I know Michaela is going to share some of that history, I think, later. But I am just so proud of our city having a role in this groundbreaking legislation. And one of the things that I think was beautiful about how it all came together was people who really disagreed with each other put aside their differences and passed this legislation. Democrats and Republicans, progressives and moderates, left and right, black and brown, white and all kinds of colors came together and said, this is for the best for our country and for our communities, and we're going to do it, and we're going to fight about other things later. But we're going to agree on this because it brings our country forward and it is good for our community. So I hope to have the support of everyone in acknowledging the individuals with disabilities in our community, in our party, in our city, in our nation, and celebrating that we have 35 years of this progress under our belt, which started in the Bay Area.
Thank you, Emma. Let me just say, well, first, thank you, Emma. Thank you to Emma. I do appreciate it. She called me as I was on my way out of town, and she's like, I'm writing this resolution. Do you want to co-sponsor it? And I said, do you want to work on it? And I was like, yes, but I'm leaving. So when I get back, and I got back to a very well-written, very thought out, and well-researched resolution, for which I'm very grateful to her for. We all have our own personal experiences with disabilities, and I will tell you that, and I'll try really hard not to age myself on this one, but on my 17th birthday, I was appointed to the President's National Council on Disabilities Advisory Committee by a man named Justin Dart in the National Council on Disability at the time, who were the real stalwarts of the ADA. These were the people who wrote it. These were the people who fought for it. I grew up with unbelievable mentors within the disabled community, from Justin Dart to Marka Bristow, Michael Winter, Judy Heumann, some really, really big names who were very, very close personal friends. I learned what they went through and what it meant. I was a young girl. I was 16 years old. I broke my back when I was 13, so it was a very new world to me, and I learned a lot from them. It is also very interesting to know what it's like to be a person with a disability pre-ADA and a person with a disability post-ADA. And the differences are vast, and we are still working on them. And I will say this, and it's one thing I did say to Emma, is that I am very grateful that we're honoring the fact that this past 35 years ago, I'm very grateful that we're honoring the impact that the Bay Area had. I will say that the biggest impact probably came out of Berkeley and Oakland. And San Francisco, I love this city, but we have a lot of work to do still. And we have a lot of problems. And as a former member of the Board of Supervisors, I really came up against a lot of issues. And John Avalos knows because he was on the board with me at the time, but there was the $1 million ramp, and all of a sudden that was my fault because I was the girl in the wheelchair. It had nothing to do with the fact that it was the Americans with Disabilities Act, which was a federally mandated law, and that had to happen. I had legislation to make every dispensary in San Francisco wheelchair accessible because they were medicinal marijuana distribution centers, and they were considered in our community to be clinics. I lost that vote. And so, you know, and that was shocking, by the way, to me, as I sat there and I supported my friends within the LGBT community and the African American community and the Arab community. And then all of a sudden, whenever we had these big issues in front of us that had to do with disabilities, I would lose them. And so we still have a long way to go. And I appreciate this, but I want everyone to know that this is still, it is still very, very much a work in progress. And Emma had some of my favorite statistics in this. 65 million Americans have a disability. 1 of every 4 households in this country is affected by a disability in one way or another. But the one thing that she doesn't note that I think we as Democrats should consider and we really should think about is that a huge majority of the country's people with disabilities live in red states. A huge majority are coming out of Kentucky, Alabama, Tennessee. And we do not, as the disabled community, we don't seem to be making strides in those areas. And as a party, we don't seem to be using the issues that are most important to the disabled community, like Medicare, like access, like employment. The employment numbers in places like Alabama and Tennessee are as low as 8%. The employment numbers, it's almost reversed with people with disabilities. So there's a lot to think about. There's a lot to be grateful for. And I'd like to be added as a co-sponsor and thank Emma for the work that she's done here today.
Thank you, Michaela. Thank you, Emma. Is there any other discussion about this resolution?
Can I say something?
Oh, Henny, sure.
Thank you so much. I just want you to know that we have the chair of the Democratic Disability Caucus, and you know who that is. Does anybody know who that is? Sasha Bittner. And she and I have been working on that committee for a long, long time. And I want to thank you for what you are doing. I think it is extremely important. It's 35 years, but you know, we need to, this year, really make it a better ADA and keep pushing. But I just wanted to talk about Sasha. She got an award, and she has been, this is her 2nd term, and she does a wonderful job. Thank you.
Thank you, Henny. I would like to say that Emma, when I talked to Emma about this resolution, she also highlighted for me that there's a short documentary by PBS called Change Not Charity, the Americans with Disabilities Act. It's about an hour long. It's a really wonderful documentary if you don't know the history of the ADA. And I feel more Powerful. Yes, I watched it, Emma. It's a great documentary. I encourage everybody to watch it. So, is there a motion to approve this resolution? So moved by member Sanjarardi. Is there a second? Second by member Mahmood. Let's do a roll call vote.
This is item 9, resolution commemorating the 35th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act, authored by Hare. Motion to approve, moved by Sanjarardi. Calling the roll. Starting with Philhauer. Aye. Philhauer, aye. Sanjarardi. Aye. Aye. 2. Aye. Akbar.
Aye.
Aye. Alioto-Pierre. Aye. Arce.
Aye.
Aye. Avalos. Aye. Kalamuchi. Aye. Chan. Aye. Chandler. Aye. Chen. Aye. Coles. Aye. Dorsey. Aye. Galata. Aye. Hare. Aye. Ho. Aye. Lai. Aye. Mahmood. Aye. Kingsbury. Aye. Mar. Aye. Ex officios Pelosi. Aye. Kounalakis. Aye. Cohen. Aye. Wiener. Aye. Haney. Aye. Stephanie. Aye. Chair Tom. Aye. Have all those who wish to vote voted? By a vote of 27 ayes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 5 absent, the motion carries.
Congratulations, Vice Chair Hare. Is there anybody like to be added as a co-sponsor? I see member Galata, member Mar, member Avalos, member Mahmood, member Chandler, myself, and member Sanjarardi.
Didn't I? She doesn't need help raising her. No, but I already said that. Okay.
Yes.
And member 2.
No, that myself, yes.
Okay. Moving on to item number 10. This is a resolution on expanding language access for SFDCCC events and meetings through AI-powered translation. Vice Chair Philhauer, would you like to introduce your resolution?
Thank you. I think, so tonight, we saw firsthand tonight and at previous meetings, the importance of in-language, both outreach and also the ability to engage here at a public meeting. The fact that Democrats are on the move and out in neighborhoods is just one part of that. I think this is more than about, we have a tremendous and large and growing monolingual community languages here in San Francisco, but this isn't just about monolingual speakers. My parents met at the Test of English as a Foreign Language over 50 years ago, and while they speak English, but English wasn't their first language, and language access tools are still very helpful to them today. And actually, it's helpful for me and my children to be able to see how it transpires and how it brings in communities that have traditionally not had the kind of access. I know that, as Henny said, with AI, we want people to do their own writing. We need to take advantage of the technologies that are even being born here in San Francisco. And the tools are becoming more and more effective every day. And we're seeing that now. And I think as we further go through efforts to engage our communities and do more outreach around elections, I think we're going to see more engagement, and by using tools that are as efficient as these, not to replace human professionals, but to enhance the human component, I think will be very helpful. So I welcome everyone's support. I actually would like to thank Member Avalos for his leadership and being the first to add his name to this piece of paper with me, and also accept his friendly amendment to change the second resolve clause. Should I just proceed to say what you want? Do you want to say it? Okay, correct me. Okay. That the second resolve clause where it says that language access policies are equitable, to change it to say language access efforts are accurate, equitable, and so forth continued. So that I accept that. I think it's important, and I thank you for your thoughtfulness and proactivity in getting that done. So thank you. So that's all I have to say about it. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair Philhauer. Any other? Yes, and we will add Member Avalos as a co-sponsor, and I would recognize Member Avalos at this time.
Thank you. Green light.
Thank you. I really appreciate this resolution coming forward, and I appreciate Member Philhauer, Vice Chair Philhauer's acceptance of amendments. And I do want to point out there's a letter that came in that our Executive Director shared with us where a person who does in-person translation expresses some concerns that I think it's really important to note out. And I do appreciate that we're not talking about replacing, that AI would be replaced. And that's a really key part that I think the Democratic Party should stand on. And it was the language that we worked on together to add around accuracy, because that's one of the things that's super important with the human element, to be able to capture what language and what people say and the nuance of spoken word is so important to express meaning in these spaces. So I really appreciate that, adding that. And I do think it's important to underscore the concerns about linguistic accuracy. And also there's an element of trust, a human person doing translation and in the room with a group of people who are receiving translation helps to build trust in government as well. That government is actually truly able to hear and listen. So I think that's really important to underscore. And I just want to make sure that as we vote on this, that we're really voting with that intention in mind as well. So I put myself as a co-sponsor. And lastly, I'll say, one of the first pieces of legislation that my colleagues and I worked on in the Board of Supervisors when I was there starting in 2009 was the Language Access Bill. And it was something that we were really proud of working on and developing that. And we got to see, several languages get approved as official languages that were part of the Language Access Ordinance over the years. I think it was Vietnamese and Filipino and Russian that we saw certified. So this is a really important measure, and appreciate our work on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Avalos. Any other discussion or comments? Member Director Coles.
I'm not sure how many Mandarin speakers we still have here, but I just want to say a few words in Mandarin and apologize because my tones are not very good. But 大家好，谢谢你们请我们来你的中心，由我们的旧金山民主党开会。I lived in China for 3 years, and a large part of the reason I'm raising my kids here is because of the vibrant Chinese community in San Francisco. And in the 20 plus years that I have lived here, I have known many monolingual Chinese speakers, especially elderly people. And I think that this resolution is very important. So I'm very grateful that you wrote this resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Coles. Any other comment or discussion? All right, do we have a motion to approve this resolution? A motion by Vice Chair Hare. Is there a second? Second by Member Ho. Can we have a roll call vote, Director Chen?
This is item 10. This is a motion to approve the resolution on expanding language access for SFDCCC events and meetings through AI-powered translation tools. The resolution was authored by Philhauer. The motion was moved by Hare. Calling the roll, Philhauer.
Aye.
Philhauer, aye. San Girardi. Aye. 2. Aye. Akbar. Aye. Alioto Pierce. Aye. Arce. Aye. Avalos. Aye. Calamucci. Aye. Chan. Aye. Chandler. Aye. Chen is aye. Coles. Aye. Dorsey. Aye. Galata. Aye. Hare. Aye. Ho. Aye. Lai. Aye. Mahmood. Aye. Kingsbury. Kingsbury, aye. Mar, aye. Ex officio, Pelosi. Aye. Kounalakis. Pass. Cohen. Aye. Wiener. Aye. Haney. Aye. Stephanie. Aye. Back to Kounalakis. Abstain. Chair Tong. Aye. Have all those who wish to vote voted? Let's see. By a vote of 26 ayes, 0 no, 1 abstain, 5 absent, the motion carries.
Congratulations, Vice Chair Philhauer, on your resolution. All right, and the last resolution on our agenda tonight is item number 11, a resolution condemning federal Medicaid cuts and urging phone banking to swing congressional districts to hold Republicans accountable. This is authored by Director Coles and myself. I will let Director Coles introduce this resolution.
Chair Tong, before you go, was there a call for co-sponsors?
Co-sponsors. Are there any co-sponsors to the language access resolution? I will co-sponsor. So let's see.
So I have Avalos, 2, Chandler, Tong, and Coles.
All right. Item number 11, Director Coles.
Thank you. I was 27 years old when I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I was in graduate school when the Northwestern University Health Insurance informed me that they would not cover the cost of my MS medicine. At that moment, I vowed that I was going to dedicate my career to making sure that as many people as possible in America could get access to high quality, affordable health care. When the Affordable Care Act passed in 2010, I felt relieved and also overjoyed. I believe this is one of the greatest pieces of legislation that has passed in America in the last 50 years. Since the ACA was implemented, 38 million Americans have gained access to health insurance. In July of this summer, July of 2025, the big ugly bill was passed. And now 16 million Americans are expected to lose health insurance. This is a horror story that we have seen before. Without health insurance, people will delay getting care until it's a crisis. People will use the emergency room as the front door to American healthcare, which will drive up costs for all of us, as Susan Pfeiffer mentioned. And most tragically, people will die from preventable healthcare crises. The other part of this story is the impact that the Medicaid cuts are going to have on healthcare workers. We have 95,000 healthcare workers in San Francisco, and up to 4,700 of them are estimated to lose their jobs because of the federal Medicaid cuts. Many of these jobs are good paying jobs represented by healthcare unions. So what are we going to do about this? As Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi often says, instead of agonizing, we must organize. And so I'm glad to tell you and to have included in this resolution that we do have these amazing phone banks that are being organized. And I myself participated in the Hands Off Our Healthcare phone bank last Thursday. I was pleasantly surprised to see that a lot of people actually answered the phone. I think this might be because it's not an election season, so when people see an unfamiliar phone number now, they're more likely to answer it. I will say that it was kind of 50-50 as to whether or not the person on the other side of the phone had actually heard about the big ugly bill and the Medicaid cuts. Health insurance is a really complicated topic. We don't even call Medicaid in California. It's called Medi-Cal. So if you have Medi-Cal, your insurance member card does not say Medicaid on it. So when we are having these conversations with voters and we're trying to shine a light on this injustice, it's complicated. But San Francisco Democrats will rise to the challenge. And so I look forward to seeing all of you on the Thursday afternoon phone banks. Thank you. Now, to the document that I passed out. I want to thank members Mar and Avalos for reaching out to me in the last 48 hours with some very good suggestions. The second page is the red line version. So member Avalos very astutely wanted to call out the fact that the One Big Beautiful Bill Act is an illegitimate name that was eliminated in the Senate. So that is the first edit that you will see in the first paragraph. And then member Mar also made some great suggestions and also added some great sources with some good numbers. So it's 95,000 people who work in healthcare in San Francisco, and also an estimated loss of up to 4,700 healthcare jobs. And then we specifically called out the unions, the healthcare unions that are likely to be impacted. So those are the edits that comprise the amended resolution.
Any other discussion? Member Pelosi. Hello. Your hair looks really different today.
Hello. Okay, perfect. So first of all, thank you so much, Director Coles. Thank you, Chair Tong, for bringing up this resolution. So I want to thank all the co-sponsors that I'm sure are going to be part of this. We are going to co-sponsor as well. But I want to tell you a little bit about the work that Speaker Emerita has been doing with Team Pelosi. We have made over 300,000 calls with volunteers all over California. Some of our volunteers were here. So it's been pretty great. At first, we were focusing on saving our healthcare. So our volunteers were pretty excited on that. As we saw the results of that, now folks are focused on accountability calls, specifically to districts, excuse me.
The Valadeos?
Yes, specifically Valadeos. Exactly. There's
I know who's running against him.
And a couple
She's
of
a doctor.
They have the messaging. Yeah, so, and thankfully the SFDEMs, you are part of our phone banks. You are one of our co-hosts. So we're happy to have you there. Thank you, Member Coles, for being there at our last phone bank. So they're every Thursday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. If you want in-person options, we can provide that for you. And we're also open to any groups that you represent. If you want to host any kind of phone bank party, postcard parties, we're always open to that. So thank you so much for this. And yes, we want to be added as a co-sponsor.
Thank you, Member Pelosi. And Susan Pfeiffer.
Something that is new on these phone banks, we've been doing this for months, but the coalition has now changed to a new system called Scale to Win, which is a system we love. And when you talk to the voter and explain about the big ugly and what it's going to do, and would they like to tell Congressman Valadao what they think about it? If they say yes, you press one button and it patches them directly through to his office, where they'll likely get voicemail. But what we're trying to do is increase the volume of angry messages from voters to let him know what he did.
Thank you for that, Susan. So any other comments or discussion from members? Member Avalos.
Thank you. I'll be real quick because I promised my wife I'd be home soon. I just want to thank this member Cole for bringing this forward, and
I think it's really important to also note that HR 1 is also not just about Medicaid, it's actually imposing the authoritarian agenda for the Trump administration. And it's going to have devastating effects across every aspect of our lives. And this is one it's principally, what we've been hearing about most about, but it's actually put forward $170 billion for ICE enforcement. 45 billion of that is for new ICE agents that many of whom will be coming here to San Francisco. The border wall is about 45 million, another 45 million for detention centers like Donald Duck out that's called Alligator Alcatraz. We have a lot that we have to organize for, not just Medicaid. But I do really appreciate the amendment to really call out this bill for what it is and not use the language that has come out of the Trump administration. I think we should not be using any kind of that language, and really, this is a partisan bill. This is a MAGA bill. It's a Republican bill, but it's really a MAGA bill that is spelling out a lot of pain that many of us will be experiencing for years to come. And lastly, after I left the Board of Supervisors, I think I graduated from there. It turned out I worked for the National Union of Healthcare Workers, where Gordon Marr is now working, and I was in the front lines working in a hospital with workers, and I worked at Seton Medical Center in Daly City, and most of their proceeds actually to keep that hospital going came from Medicaid and Medi-Cal. And so you will see hospitals close. They talk about rural facilities, but Daly City is not a rural facility. There's all these other facilities that are reliant on federal dollars to maintain themselves and provide high quality health care for patients in all of our cities. This is just one aspect of how our economy is going to be, hit so hard by all of this. So proud to be with all of us on this Big Tent policy to support, to condemn this bill and to fight to maintain, to change Congress to prevent that from happening. So I really appreciate that there's language in here encouraging us to take part in that work to flip Congress as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Member Avalos. I think that one of the things that we do well in this party, especially in San Francisco, is to take action. So I challenge each and every one of you members and proxies to participate in one phone bank between now and our next meeting in August, so that we can support this effort to make sure, right? To make sure that people in those congressional districts know what their members are doing that directly affects them and is directly impacting their ability to access healthcare. So that's my challenge to you. I will sign up for a phone bank soon. Ernesto's going to tell me when and where. They're on Thursday afternoons, 4 to 7. And then where can we sign up? On the Mobilize? Right, and we had a newsletter go out a couple days ago, right?
Correct, and it's also on our website at sfdems.org/events.
So
All of them are there.
And then we will get a report back, and I will let everybody know how they did. Okay. All right. So let's. Is there a motion to approve this resolution? Member Arce. Second by Member Mahmood. Roll call vote.
So roll call vote on motion by Arce to approve a resolution condemning federal Medicaid cuts and urging phone banking to swing congressional districts to hold Republicans accountable. Authored by Coles. This is item 11. Calling the roll. Sangiardi. Aye. Sangiardi, aye. 2. Aye. Akbar.
Aye.
Aye. Alioto-Pierre. Aye. Arce. Aye. Aye. Avalos. Aye. Calamucci. Aye. Chan. Aye. Chandler. Aye. Chen is aye. Coles. Aye. Dorsey. Aye. Galata. Aye. Hare. Aye. Ho. Aye. Lai. I, Mahmood. I, Kingsbury. I, Marr. I, Philhauer. I, ex officios, Pelosi. I, Kunalakis. I, Cohen. I, Weiner. I, Haney. I, Stephanie. I, Chair Tom. Aye. Have all those who wish to vote voted? By a vote of 27 ayes, 0 no, 0 abstain, 5 absent, the motion carries.
Congratulations. And everybody, sign up now for your phone bank hours. All right, moving on to item number 12. Co-sponsors. Are there co-sponsors to this? Pelosi, Chandler, Ho, Avalos, Calamucci, Galata. Arce, Sangerardi, Hare, Dorsey, Alioto Pier. All right. Okay, moving on to new business, item number 12. Is there any new business members? Member Avalos.
So we had a meeting maybe maybe a month and a half ago at the Laborers Hall about immigration, and one of the things that came out of that was signing up for doing accompaniment work with people who are asked to do their check-ins at the immigration courts. I signed up for that, but I signed up through the Labor Council, but I never heard back from anyone in Labor Council. I'm doing it with Faith in Action. They're going several days a week. I can't tell you how important this work is. And if people have free time, it might be good to put it in our another mobilized thing to sign up for. There are trainings. Faith in Action does a training. You'll probably have one later this week. I can get the word out to our list to share when that's going to be. They requested more people and also elected officials to come in to do that work. One day when I was there, Supervisor Jackie Fielder came in, and the people who are coming to court, for them, it's like just a really harrowing experience, as you can imagine, and having some people there to support and be witnesses is really helpful for them. We can't get in the way to block, ICE from taking them. Sometimes ICE is right in the courthouse, in the hallway, ready to receive them. And sometimes they take them without even their ability to do so. Even here in San Francisco, Mission Local has some articles about that. But I want to encourage people, they have the time to do that. It could be like one day a month, there might be something to do. I go, I'm going on Friday. I've gone twice already. Each time I've gone so far, I go in at 8 o'clock and I'm out by about 10 o'clock. So it's a really quick session in the morning. And I'm just observing that, when I'm there, I say hello to the person I'm accompanying with, I'm going there with. Faith in Action does a lot of support work and tell you what to do, and they're always there as well to make sure that you can do that work. You can feel comfortable doing that work. Matt Alexander, who is one of our school board members, is leading that. He's with Faith in Action, and they have some really talented folks who are there as well. So I want to encourage people to do that. It was their request, and they need more people, and it's vitally important that we're doing everything we can to protect the people who are targeted by this Trump administration. I think that's really the work that our party really needs to be doing, is those who are most persecuted. We have to be moving our resources, our energies to create a better world where they are the ones who are put first, because that's the only way we can get the country that we really want, is to protect the people who are most targeted for erasure.
Thank you very much, Member Avalos, and Executive Director Esfandiari, if you could make contact with Member Avalos to get the information from him. We can include that in our newsletter, and I encourage the members here to also help participate.
I'll follow up.
All right, any other new business? If not, we are moving to item number 13, which is our adjournment. Is there any in memoriams or in celebrations that people would like to announce for adjournment? Well, I'd like to wish my son a happy 4th birthday, which I missed. I missed tonight. Yeah. We had a party this weekend. I think we're ready to adjourn the meeting, and also in celebration of adjourning the meeting, I think we're going to try to turn on the disco ball here. Well, it's spinning. There are no lights. Oh, here we go. I don't know, does anyone have any music? I didn't know that Victory Hall had a disco ball. So this meeting is adjourned.